Heading out on a little bit of a loop on the Aventon Ramblas. Just cruising through the neighborhood right now. Just have the bike off. Just to show you it can still pedal with no power. But it is a little heavier and you don't want to do that. Not too heavy still. And with these knobbier tires, get a little drag on the street. Good range in the SRAM Eagle NX 12-speed drivetrain, but we'll get this thing powered on so we can get moving quicker. And even in Eco, you could feel a nice assist from this. And it does feel pretty good getting that pedal assist with this bike. So just a little kicker here, kind of just going on a quick little loop to get me from my neighborhood on the street, which this bike is meant to do as well. But I like riding it on the trails because it is a hardtail mountain bike. So get this thing into trail mode. And when you really step on the pedals, you feel the power. And pedaling pretty decent right now, but going 17 up this little kicker, which is pretty solid. I'll just put it in turbo. And turbo gets us to, at that moment, just under 20 miles per hour. But it does get you going fairly quickly for sure. So, here we go. Just turbo, up to 20 miles an hour, very quickly. And here's where I like to ride, and that is off-road. So I'm going to get that dropper post down. I put it back into eco mode because don't really need it for when we're going downhill. This section is a bit chunkier just because it's been a lot of rain. But as you can see, the bike is still handling it pretty well. Just got to pick the right line because we only got front suspension on this bike. That's just a nice little entryway into this little trail system that I have near my house, and put the dropper post back up just so I could sit down and pedal this flatter part. And with just eco mode, like I mentioned, I'm going 10 miles an hour just cruising on this stuff. And it's pretty much all you need. Once you bump it into trail, you can feel that motor kick in, and it could launch you off the trail, which we don't want. So eco's been plenty enough for me off-roading. And the bike does feel nice and planted off-road in that mid 50-pound range. It's not light, but it's not too heavy either. And having that 130 millimeters of travel up front, hidden roots and stuff isn't too bad. Even going off little things like that. It's going downhill, put that dropper post down, and we're cruising. So this bike does handle well. It's not too aggressive, which is nice, so you could just still ride this on the road and then get into some single track, because off-roading is fun. Cruise around this section. Yeah, like, just so much fun to be able to take a bike from the road to here, and having that pedal assist is nice. So we'll cruise just on this wider part of the trail here. And having that dropper post is great because you really can handle the bike better when you're going downhill. But then when you get to these little connecting spots, just put it up and you can just pedal your way through. But still just cruising in eco mode, going 12 miles an hour, which is not too bad at all. The torque sensor does a good job of keeping that natural pedaling feeling. Doesn't lurch you forward too much, especially in these lower modes. Since we got a little of a climb here, through it into turbo, you can see how much faster this bike will get you with that 100 newton meters of torque. Yeah, once you get going quick, you can feel it. Yeah, fun little place to come ride your bike, and I think Aventon did a good job of making a bike for someone looking to get into mountain biking but doesn't want to spend all the money on a full suspension electric mountain bike. So hardtail is a good start. It's nice to have a bike that you could do a commute to work in during the week and then hop on to the trails on a weekend. Or if you're lucky enough to live somewhere where there's a trail network in between, you could totally do both. And I think this bike does a good job off-road and on-road as well. I think for on-road it would be nice if that front suspension fork did lock out, but being able to ride through some single track, drop back onto the pavement, get home quick, makes for doing some laps after work, before dinner time, pretty great. Definitely got muddy riding this bike, and you can't really see my legs, but they're pretty covered in mud. So I think if you were to be doing this more of a hybrid riding with this bike, it would be great to put some fenders on here so you can stay a bit cleaner, especially if you're going to be riding this in work clothes. Or with a backpack on, you get mud all over that backpack. But solid, fun bike that you can use in a variety of different situations.